everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan. And I don't know about you, but voting is around the corner. And I'm not spoken the presidential election. I'm not thinking about senators. I'm not thinking about House representatives. I'm not even thinking about city council, county council. I'm thinking about school board, right officials that people you need to put in place to help with our kids making those right decisions that affect our kids' education. So I got with me a special guest here in the Logan Power Show. She's running for District 20 in the Peninsula. She's a special fan of the Logan Power Show. Ms. Lauren Herterich, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We're definitely glad to have you here in the Logan Power Show. Um, we want to focus on you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I'm Lauren Herterich. I have lived in Charleston for 11 years. It's hard to believe that. I went to Georgia Southern University and focused on health promotion and public health, and moved to Charleston for an internship with a local HIV/AIDS clinic here, pursuing outreach, and really fell in love with the nonprofit world. Started working in fundraising with some different groups, and then met the founder of Kids on Point back in 2014, and came in and fell in love with the kids. What I love about the Kids on Point model is that we start with kids in third and fourth grade. We follow them through late elementary, middle, high school, and then post-secondary. I firmly believe it takes a village to raise kids, and I love that aspect and that family approach and community approach to Kids on Point. And really, that's what's motivated me to run for the school board. Through the 7 years that I've been with the organization and beyond, I've seen the inequities throughout our school system. And it's something that we need to work together to make sure that we're addressing properly. It should be our number one priority. And I want to expand on that from my work with Kids on Point and really work with the district to make sure that we're improving our schools.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's got to be an actual even scale when it comes to our kids' education. I think Kids on
Yep.
Point, for those who don't know, kidsonpoint.org, the Charleston area, is a program that I highly recommend, where there are kids that look like us, that want to achieve greatness. It is dealing with squash, but they do focus on other things regards to your education. You got to have a certain grade point average to stay in the program. So it's not like you coming in like, hey, you may start at one way, but you end something different, and you see a lot of different things travel. So that's a great program, and I'm glad that you are running the show. Now, since you're deciding to, you said that this is an imbalance when it comes to Charleston School District. What are some things, if you're given the opportunity to be selected to be a part of the school board, what do you want to see done?
I think one, we have to address the archaic budget system that we run off of. Teachers need to be supportive, and we need to see an increase in pay. So that would be one of my priorities, is to work with local legislators to make sure that we are making reforms in that regard and supporting teachers properly. Racial inequities is another top priority for me. I think that we can address many issues related to school choice, transportation, wraparound support services, access to internet and technology. We're seeing that even more so with COVID, and making sure that our students that are taking virtual school do have that access and connectivity to the schools and to the teachers. And then finally, ensuring that we're focusing on that social and mental health in schools, that we're providing counselors, more social workers, more nurses in our schools, so that we are addressing the emerging needs of students and families. What we're dealing with this year is far beyond anything we've ever dealt with in the history of our country, and we need to make sure that we have support programs in place, that we are focusing and providing opportunities for all kids to be successful.
Absolutely. Now, for your mindset, it's going to be a tough challenge. The
Yes.
reason why I'm saying that, because we know what teachers getting paid, that has been on the docket many a times. People have always trying to tackle the David versus Goliath
Yep. Yep.
uphill. What are some things, I guess, some strategies that you're going to try to do to speak to those legislators? Because you have people in South Carolina, they always talk about, when it comes to education, they feel that we're on the bottom. They feel that, you see a lot of more prison systems, more things when it comes to um, fighting crime than education. Education is probably on the back burner, especially when it comes to bills being passed, things in place. Um,
Mhm.
who are you thinking about getting in contact with on these House of Representatives in our area to be able to knock on those doors and let your voice be heard?
Well, the school board should not be bound by any party lines. So reaching out, and this is a big election coming up for our nation and our state. So working with those representatives that are getting elected, I've been a longtime proponent of collaboration and partnership. And for me, it's getting out of the boardroom and taking more of that grassroots approach and communicating with our schools, our teachers. All of our schools are doing an excellent job. They're having a lot of success. We need to highlight those and then be able to properly work with them to address the barriers. And that's my plan, to be able to communicate that and be able to work with our legislators to clearly say, this is how we're using the money. This is what we need to better support these students. This is what we need to better support our teachers. If that involves getting another teacher in the classroom sizes shouldn't be 35 students in a classroom size. That is incredibly hard to manage. So we need to, one, show our legislation and state how we're utilizing the funds we've already received, have the flexibility to reallocate some funds, and then show how that money is being utilized and how these schools are really improving by investing in our frontline team.
Got it. Now, since you deal with a lot of youth yourself and you see kids ranging from third grade always to senior in high school, um, and you talk about that kids need, a village is needed. What are some village plans that you have in place? Like, because I know that you got a lot of great programs that you do are in charge of. What are some programs you want to say implement, take it from that sector and bring it to the educational system?
Well, education's not a one shoe fits all approach. You have three kids that are all very different, and we all do. So making sure that parents have that choice to make sure that their kids are able to receive a quality education, whether that's an art focus, whether that's an athletic focus, whether that's an academic focus. Being able to have that choice and really making sure that we're empowering them to follow their dreams and aspirations, that we're helping open up the doors to those possibilities. The same with kind of college and career. What track do you want to be on? How can we work with local businesses to provide internship and shadowing opportunities? What does it take? Does it require a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, a certification? And really taking that approach to providing wraparound support services and making sure that children have access to all the tools and resources that they need to be successful in that particular environment.
Absolutely. Now you're a bit of a, we call a radical type of individual. I don't consider you call it very conservative. You're really, we call like a frontline type of individual where you don't allow the color of your skin or the people that you're around to determine how far this can go. So being the fact that as we know, most of the kids that are not privileged are African Americans and Latinos. In your program and Kids on Point, 90% plus is African American with a strong, successful success rate. Kids have literally gone on the program that look like me and have, you know, great family backgrounds. Families work hard. People and parents want to have the best. May not be able to afford it, but when they give an opportunity, they all gung ho for their children. As you know, you don't take no for an answer. So, what are some things where you would try to sort of? You mentioned about collaboration. As we know, some of the school board members, they always say, "Hey, just in the Peninsula, there's certain, this is a failing school. I'm gonna throw that school away. You know, that school's no good." We've seen things like Garrett's gone. That's out the window. They're talking about schools like Burke. They're talking about other schools. Uh, Kashore Elementary, Sanders Clyde,
Yeah, Shakora.
Shakora Elementary, Sanders Clyde, um, things like that. They talk about, hey, push it to the side. Let's move on. Let's revamp. Um, how are you able to keep these schools from not falling by the wayside, in your opinion?
Again, we've gotten into this culture of divisiveness and negativity. These schools are doing a lot of things right. They have great teachers, they have great administration. We have to build that up. We have to show what they're working on and how they're improving, because they are. And we need to work with our community to address the barriers. Every school is different, every student population is different. We have to take a community approach to this to make sure that we are building up our neighborhood schools, that we are investing in our frontline team, that we are investing in our students. And that looks different at every school. But I'm invested to working with the community in that aspect. That's what I do every day with Kids on Point. And we have to work in Charleston to really break down the systemic issues that are impacting this country. And I'm a huge proponent for that. I'm a huge proponent for working in the community to make those changes.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned also by having counselors, less SRO, less
Yep.
officers at the school system. What is like sort of a model that you're trying to sort of, to take that particular model and implement that into the school system?
Well, we're just living in a really stressful time with COVID, all the systemic issues that our country's facing, the inequities across our system. We need mental health counselors. We need to be talking about social and emotional supports, because it's impacting large groups of children, it's impacting adults. There's a lot of stressful situations beyond the school environment that we need to properly address. And I think investing in that, making sure that we have more social workers on site, that we have more nurses on site, is just critically important as we move forward to address the emerging needs.
Absolutely. Well, final thought. We know 2020 has been a unique year for us. We have
Mhm.
seen, we're always trying to revamp, come with new ideas, creative ideas. For people who may not know you personally, don't know your heart, tell people why they should give you an opportunity to be part of the Charleston School Board for the Peninsula District.
I'm here to advocate and fight to make sure that every child, no matter their zip code, their race, their gender, their household income, have access to a quality education. We do that every day at Kids on Point, and I'm invested to expanding beyond the downtown peninsula and advocating for the 84 schools, 50,000 students, and 5,600 employees that are a part of CPSC. And you just appreciate your thoughtfulness and the questions and supporting me through this. Really just is my pleasure, and excited to take this on.
Absolutely. Now, Ms. Lauren Hardwick is somebody personally, as a friend of the family, the Logan Power Show. Um, my daughter's in Kids on Point. I can honestly tell you it's been what we call life-changing. Life-changing is something that we don't take it for granted. I've always said an opportunity. An opportunity is a door. My mother's always said if the door's cracked, hey, at least you can see what's on the other end. And if you can get in there, you're gonna bust the door down because the opportunity is gonna come and you're not gonna let that door shut. And all I would tell people is that give this lady an opportunity to give, be in your home. I promise you, she's gonna fight for you. It's a different type of fight. She may not look like you, but hey, she gonna fight. She gonna say you part of the family, and we part of the family too. We don't see race. We all we see is people of need. I know this. It takes a village. My village is kind of big, so I always extend out to the village. So I appreciate a village. A village is something that you do need. Reason why we say village is because a village sees the kid in the middle, and the outside's job is to protect. The outside job is to plant wisdom. It's designed to give those opportunities to be able to feed you, is able to instill the greatness in you. So you got a great person here. November the 3rd, you make your decision. I'm not. I already know who I already know who I got my support behind. But I would tell you this: look her up. Don't go by the billboard. You know, definitely look on what she's doing. Get in contact with her. Look on Kids on Point. Don't take it from my personal experience. Hey, if you got a child in 3rd grade all the way to a senior in high school, you want to sign up today. Ms. Lauren's going to take you, Ms. Rachel, Mr. Dillon, so as a family team that wants to see you win, and we know it's going to be a great time. So, Ms. Lauren, November the 3rd, we're excited. We pray that your time comes, and we'll be right back here cheering for you. Ringing the bell and saying, "Hey, one of our good friends, have made that opportunity to make an impact in the community." And like I've always said, people, if Ms. Lauren makes it, I've always said this: hold her accountable. That's what I'd be doing, because
Yep.
I'm a holder
Yep.
accountable too. Because I'm like, hey, she part of the group. I need
Yep.
some changes. So like I said,
Yep.
I'm in the fight. My child's in the Peninsula, so it's all about. It's not just about me and my home. I think about every kid that I come in contact with. So for those that are watching, family, I want you to take this stuff serious. November 3rd is not just about the president. It's not about the vice president. It's not about the senators, House of Representatives. It's these things like here. These board members that you select for your school board make such a big difference. You'd be amazed what doesn't come. You wonder why your school doesn't have an iPad. You wonder why your school is short on these supplies. You wonder why this program's not there. It's because people that are put in that kind of power seat, it's power that you can do so much. So we want to make a difference. So here's
I
like,
also I
go ahead.
also want to reiterate that go out and do your research. You have 5 people to vote for in these positions, 2 in West Ashley, 1 downtown, and 2 in North Charleston. Vote 411 is a great site where all the candidates have participated in questionnaires. Go on and research everyone and vote for what you believe in with this. But it is a critical election, and just like Mr. Logan said, don't take his word for it. Get out and do that research, and know that your voice matters at the polls.
Amen. It matters at the polls. Hey, all this time I got. My name is Calvin of the Logan Power Show. Nationwide, worldwide, we make a difference. We inform you. To God be the glory. We'll see you soon.